Okay, standard 3 polynomial expressions. There's 6 problems. So what you're going to do is write a 1 and a 2 because there's always 2 things you have to consider. First off, do I have any multiplication I need to do? No, because by the way, look, make sure your letters are covered. So 4, that'd be a 1. 2, that'd be a -3, a 10, a 7. Okay, so they're all covered. So then what I need to do is see if I have any multiplication I need to do. No, there's none. There's nowhere I would put a dot. Nowhere I'd put a multiplication dot. So that's NA. And then step 2, you just draw out your spaces for the like terms addition. So the highest m power you have is a second power. So you go blank m to the second plus blank m plus blank. So m to the seconds, I have a 1 right here. That's not to the second. And 1 right here. So I add the numbers in front. 4 plus -3 is 1. And then regular m's, you got -1m and +10m. Okay, so you add the coefficients from the front. -1 plus 10 gives me 9 m's. And then 2 plus 7 is just 9. Nothing hard about that. Okay. Next problem. There's a minus sign. As you can see, you got 9x to the third minus 13x to the second plus 1x. Minus, well, we want to make that plus, and then that -13 is going to become positive. That -5 becomes +5, and that +14 becomes -14. Okay, there's no multiplication on this one either, so NA. Now look at your x's. X third, x second, x second, x. X third's the highest, so blank x to the third plus blank x to the second plus blank x plus blank. X to the third, I think the only one I had was that one, and it's 9. X to the second, I have this -13. Remember, if it has a minus in front of it, we think of it as a negative, and then that's an x second, and that's +13. Well, -13 and +13 are going to cancel it out because when you add those, you get 0. So you can cross out the x to the second. There would be none at all. Regular x's, I have a 1x and a 5x, +5, +1, +5. 1 plus 5 is 6. Okay, and numbers without x's, we have -14, so it'll be -14. And there is our answer. Okay, number 3, we're going to put a times dot right here. So obviously, since I put a times dot, we're going to have to times. Now, before we do the operation, we need to make sure all our variables are covered. That's 3, that's 8, that's going to be 1, that's 3, okay? All right, now when you multiply, you're not actually going to write anything here. You're going to actually do the rainbows, and I'm just going to write what I'm doing off to the side. So 3, so don't write NA because we have to do it. So 3 times, whoops, I didn't give, so you want to give yourself some space. 3 times 8, the 3 had x to the third, the 8 had x to the fourth. So 3x to the third, 8x to the fourth. 3 times -1. Now let's go back and look at the variable attachments, x to the third and x to the second. Three times -3, x to the third and x, and then 3 times 5. And that looks like we have x to the third and then nothing. Okay. So 3 times 8 is 24, and then we add the powers. 3 plus 4 is x to the 7th. 3 times -1 is -3. Then we add the powers, x, and then 3 plus 2 makes 5. 3 times negative 3 is negative 9, and then x third times x to the first would be x to the fourth. 3 times 5 is 15, and that would just be x to the third. Okay, so that's done. Now let's go down to step 2 and draw our spaces out. So I've got x to the 7. When I look at all these answers, x to the 7th's the highest one. And I'm going to skip the x to the 6th because I don't have any of them. So plus blank x to the 5th, plus blank x to the 4th because I have one of those, plus blank x to the 3rd, and that's it. And then all we have is 24x to the 7th. That's the only one I have there. X to the 5th, I just have the negative 3. X to the 4th, we have the negative 9. And x to the 3rd, we have 15. And that's the final answer. Okay. Okay, number 4, 3x minus 1 times 4x plus 9 now. So that's a times. So step 1 and 2. Step 1 we have to do because we have to multiply that off to the side. So I'm going to have 3x times 4x, and then 3x times 9. And that takes care of the 3x. Negative 1 times 4x, and negative 1 times 9. So 3 times 4 is 12. Add the powers on your x's. 1 plus 1 is 2. 3 times 9 is 27. There's only one x, and it's just x. No power. It's to the first power, but I'm not going to put that on there. Negative 1 times 4 is negative 4. Then I have x. Then negative 1 times 9 is negative 9. Okay, so that's all done. The multiplications are taken care of. So look at your highest power. It's a 2. So blank x to the second plus blank x plus blank. And now I look for like terms. So x to the second, that's the only one I have. So that's 12. Done. For x's, I have 27x and negative 4x. So we got to add 27 plus negative 4, and that's 23. Numbers without x's, I just got the negative 9 and got my answer. Okay, x plus 4 would be 1x plus 4 times 1x to the second plus 6x minus 5. Again, a little bit longer of a problem. Definitely doable. Okay. So 1 times 1. Now go back and look. We got x and x to the second. So I put x, x to the second. 1 times 6. I put x and x. 1 times negative 5. You got x and nothing, so it's x. So we'll kill him. 4 times 1x to the second. 4 times 6x. And 4 times negative 5. Okay, trying to find the products. 1 times 1 is 1. 1 plus 2 is 3, so 1x to the third. 1 times 6 is 6. 1 plus 1 is 2, so x second. 1 times negative 5 is negative 5, and then we just have the x there. Don't need to add any powers if I only have one x. 4 times 1 is 4, and here's the only x in that product, and it's to the second, so I put x to the second. 4 times 6 is 24, and here's the only x, it's just x, so I put 4 times negative 5 is negative 20. Okay, now that part's done. I'm going to put done. Should have put it up here too. As soon as I know all those products, I'm done. Now, highest power is x to the third. Okay, so blank x to the third plus blank x to the second plus blank x plus blank. So x to the third, I know I have 1. X to the seconds, I've got 6x second and 4x second. 6 plus 4 is 10. Okay, for x's, I have negative 5 and positive 24. So I add negative 5 and positive 24, and that gives me positive 19. And then the negative 20. Answer. Okay, next step. Don't draw out all the boxes because you got a plus sign here. Okay. Multiplication you will have to do because you need to get rid of this. Right, times, and then 3x plus 5. So we're going to have to take 3x times 3x, 3x times 5, 5 times 3x, and 5 times 5. So 3 times 3 equals 9. 1 plus 1 is 2. 3 times 5 is 15, and that's x, just x. 5 times 3 is 15, just x. And 5 times 5 is 25. Okay, so done. I multiplied it all out. Now I got to collect the like terms up. So blank x to the second, because that's your highest right there, plus blank x plus blank. So x is second, so I have a 9. For x is 15 plus 15 is 30. And then 25. Okay, and then the one story problem that we need to figure out. A picture has a length of 20 inches, a width of 25 inches. You're going to build a rectangular border around the picture. So they talk about this picture, draw the stupid thing, okay? You got 20 and 25. So we're going to build this frame then around the outside, and it's uniform all the way around, meaning it's the same thing. Okay, write a polynomial expression that represents the total area of the picture and the border. So we know that the area of a rectangle is the length multiplied by its width. So I need to replace the L and the W with two different factors. They're going to need to be in parentheses. And I look at my length, and I measure it across, and I know that from here to here is 20. I don't know how far from here to here. That's unknown, so it's x. And I don't know here to here either, but that's going to be x as well, because when you put a frame around something, it's going to be the same kind of width all the way around the frame. So I have two x's right here, so that's going to be 2x plus 20. You're like, well, where did you get the 2x? Well, 1x plus 1x is 2x. Okay, and then here, from here to here is 25, and then x, and that's 2x plus 25. Okay, so that's been set up, so now you carry out your order of operations with polynomials. First, you need to multiply. So 2x times 2x, 2x times 25, 20 times 2x, and 20 times 25. Okay, so equals. So 2 times 2 is 4. Then 1 plus 1 is 2, so 4x squared. 2 times 25 is 50, and that's just going to be an x. 20 times 2 is 40 with just an x. And 20 times 25 is 500. Okay, so that's been done. I just put done as soon as I know what all the products are. And then the highest power is a second, so blank x second plus blank x plus blank. So I've got 4. And I've got 50 plus 40 for the x's. That makes 90. And then we got the 500. Okay? So as soon as I'm down to step 2, and all these problems, as soon as I'm at step 2, I'm done. Okay? So if you're like, oh, I don't know when to stop, when you get the adding of the like terms done. Okay? If there's multiplication, you carry it out off to the side. Then write done when you're done, and then after that, it's a real simple 2-step process in this whole thing. Okay, if there's all right, now it says calculate the width of the frame. That's 4 inches. I'm going to replace all these x's with 4s. So I have this 4 here, X comes out, and 4 is going to go in its place. It's going to be to the second plus 90. Again, I'll just put parentheses around them. Parentheses, at X comes out, 4 goes in, and then plus your 500. Okay, calculate that. So 4 parentheses 4 to the second plus 90 parentheses 4 plus 500. Gives me 924. An area is measured in square inches, okay? You don't just put inches. Inches is when you just measure a straight line. A picture frame is not just a straight line that